From Forex Traders Daily, this is your daily analysis with Ross Mullins, live from Richmond, Virginia.
Hello everyone, this is today's video analysis for November 28, 2016. I hope you had a great weekend and are ready to get started trading this week. In today's video, I'm going to do a general overview of each of the U.S. currency pairs in anticipation of this week's trading. And I'm going to highlight some of the key levels that we will be looking for entry and exit opportunities. Now, today's news calendar is relatively light as we begin the week of trading. However, you will want to be sure to check your financial calendars for any of the latest releases that we will get throughout this week. Okay, let's get started with the USD CHF, the US dollar versus the Swiss franc. Here on this daily time frame, we look back to the left-hand side first. You look back here where these black circles are, top left-hand side of the chart. You can see support at the green zone, resistance at the orange zone, resistance at the green zone in the middle black circle, support at the green zone in the right-hand black circle, and resistance at the orange zone. So we know that between the green and the orange zone has been support and resistance back here in the past. And of course, if it gets above the orange zone, the blue zone is your next resistance in the direction of the uptrend. We go all the way over to the right-hand side now, and we can see some familiar areas acting as support resistance. Let's go ahead and zoom it in one time. You see the yellow zone down here acting as support, green zone acting as somewhat of a hinge point right now. Below it went down to the yellow zone. Above it, we have this expectation now that we could be looking for the market to target back to the orange zone. And of course, we know if it breaks above the orange zone, we look for it to go higher to the blue zone. Today is if it stays above and gets above the green zone, that's 1.0145. We'll look for it to continue that rally towards the orange shaded area this week and maybe even a continuation of the uptrend. We'll also be watching for indications of reversal from these multi-month resistance highs that we are at here for the dollar franc. Take it down to the 4-hour time frame. Doesn't really change it. Just shows us some of the price action we've seen over the past several weeks. The blue circles representing breakouts, support, breakout, support, breakout, support, breakout, support. We saw that last week where it broke out, came down, settled out of the green zone a little while. Then we saw the market touch down to the yellow zone. So it was not too different. Similar situation where we saw the breakout, dip to support, and now the rally. The next thing we'll look for in the continuation of the trend would be the breakout above the orange zone for the dollar franc. Take it on over to the euro dollar. Similar situation, except the opposite. We're in a downtrend. If we're going to go in the direction of trend, we of course want to look for opportunities to go short. I do want to remind you of one thing. We're at the bottom of a multi-year really range that this currency pair has been in since January 2015. This is the weekly time frame. Look at the red box here. I want you to remember that red box as we go down here towards the daily time frame. There's that same red box, and guess where we are? Down at the very bottom of that red box. So doesn't mean it can't continue down. We just need to be cautious and look for the right opportunities to go short if we are going to go short. Let's take it down to the 4-hour time frame. As we get down here, we of course see that familiar pattern, the rally, the fall, the rally back to the purple zone, and now the fall back down towards the green zone. Green zone, of course, is our support. That's right around the 1.0545, 0565 level is the green zone. That will, of course, be our first clue or first area. I didn't mean to grab that. Sorry about that. That will be our area of support for the day today, the green zone. 545, 565. Of course, if it can break underneath 545 underneath the green zone, we know that the yellow zone sits down there as our next potential support into the mid to upper 1.0400s, which we saw in that multi-year or multi-month viewpoint from the weekly time frame. The bottom of the range is the yellow shaded area. If you're going to go short, obviously the best place to go short today would be the purple zone, and of course your risk there is that it breaks above the purple zone and goes higher back to the blue zone. So we know where our decision zones are for the day today. Zooming in a little bit, if you're going to go short, selling into 1.0620 will be your best opportunity to sell resistance to target the next support for the euro dollar in the direction of the trend. Down to the GBP USD, similar situation. We have been in this somewhat of a range here, if you will. The green zone up here at the top, right about right here, 1.2510, 1.2545 has been resistance for a while now. Take a look back here over the past couple of weeks. Yellow zone, we've seen a lot of support around here. That's where we are right now, 1.2385 as support. If we're going to see this go lower, it's an imperative that it breaks 1.2385 for our next opportunity. We don't want to fall prey to a false break. Let me zoom in one time. This right here, false breakout right back here where this green arrow is. So we don't want to fall prey to something like that. So we need a significant breakout underneath 23.85 so this doesn't happen to us. We don't want to sell it and this turns around and goes back up again. So if we're going to go short, sell this currency pair, we need it to break 23.85, targeting 23.20, the orange zone, or into the 2200s on the way down. If you're looking for a buy or a long opportunity, I suppose you're at your very best opportunity to do that today here into this area, into the yellow zone, and you target back to the green zone. I still think going short on this pair is really the dominant direction I am focused in on for the GBP USD. USD CAD, we are in an uptrend. That's the first thing. We're in a little bit of a consolidation or contraction pattern, if you will. Maybe even a little triangle pattern, if you will, up at the top right-hand corner of the chart. You see the blue trend line representing the falling highs, the black trend line rising lows. We're consolidating, contracting inside that triangle between the blue and the black trend line. At some point in time, we'll see the breakout of this pattern. It'll either break to the top side, go higher, to the bottom side, go lower. Let me just mention 1.3495, 1.3470 is the green zone that the congestion is at right now. Below it goes lower, above it could go back higher again in the direction of the trend. Yellow zone, 1.3545 to 75, a breakout above the yellow zone, the red line there. Would look for the continuation of the trend. The blue zone, of course, 1.3425, 3400. Below that could signal a reversal for this currency pair. Really, we needed to break this consolidation or contraction pattern for our time frame. It's just bouncing around inside this green zone. So if you're looking for an opportunity to trade the dollar CAD right now, I think you're more likely looking, at least for the intraday today, a breakout of this green zone. Above it would look for it to go higher. Below it would look for it to go lower. Once again, 1.3470 at the bottom, 1.3495 at the top. A breakout goes higher above the green zone, lower below the green zone here for the dollar CAD today. Take it over to the US yen. Of course, it's an uptrend. I don't think anybody's going to argue that. It's an uptrend. If we're going to buy it, we want to buy into support and not at resistance. We are very close to the resistance. Zoom in one more time. Actually, let's go in twice. We're close to the resistance, the orange shaded area. So you don't want to buy it into resistance. Doesn't make a lot of sense to do that. If you're going to buy it, you want it to go down, at least back down in towards the 11200 or the 112 level to give you at least a better risk reward opportunity if you're looking to go long on the dollar yen. Of course, above 1.1350, which is the orange shaded area, we'd look for it to go higher. Take it down to the 4-hour time frame. Again, if you're going to go long, it makes always the most sense to go long into support. And of course, the green zone is your current support. Not too hard to see that here on the 4-hour time frame. At this point, a break under the green zone looks for the change in the behavior for this currency pair. I would say that's probably closer towards the 111.80 level at the bottom of the green zone. So 111.80 up to 112.15 is the green zone. If you're going to buy it, that's where you want to buy it. You don't want to buy it under the orange zone. If you're looking to go short, now the orange zone becomes an opportunity because you know we've already found resistance there before. That could be an opportunity to go short. Just be cautious because you are fighting the trend if you decide to go short on the US yen. Moving over to the AUD USD, Australian versus the US dollar. Some significant things happening here. We're going to talk about the long-term trend on the weekly time frame during the trade room today. So if you want to hear about that, join us in the live trade room today. But historically speaking, let's go ahead and zoom it in one time. Look at the orange shaded area right smack in the middle of the chart, 74.50, 74.70. Look back here where the blue circles are. We know there's support, support, support. That's offering resistance today between 74.50, 74.70. We know historically this is a decision point. Even back here, let me just take this black circle that's on the far left-hand side of the chart. Let me see if I can get that selected. Just give me a moment here to get that selected. I'm going to draw it up here. You see right here where the black circle is and the resistance that was there at the orange shaded area, black circle, left-hand side of the chart. Guess where we are today? Right there at the orange shaded area inside the 74.50-70 level. So as long as it's underneath there, as it is today, I believe this is a short opportunity. In fact, if you look at the bottom of my chart, you can see I'm in at 74.60, sitting with about 9 pips of profit already. But selling the orange zone is the main focus. Your risk is pretty clear. You just don't want it to get above that orange zone. If it does, you're probably looking for it to turn a little bit higher back into the the low 7500s, the green shaded area at minimum, if it does break through the orange zone. Look at the left, support. Look at the right, resistance. You're going to target the blue zone first, of course. That's your first target. Secondary target would be the purple zone at the bottom of the chart. If you decide to go short, pretty simple risk. You just don't want it to break above the orange shaded area today. Moving on over to the NZD USD, similar situation over here on the New Zealand dollar. We have been in an uptrend. We've been watching evidence and clues to reversal here on this currency pair for quite some time now on the New Zealand dollar. Zoom it in. Again, look back here where the red circle is. You can see the left-hand side, purple zone resistance, orange zone support. You look right here with this little tiny blue circle. Let me zoom it in one more time. Little blue circle on the left, support into the purple zone. That's where we're finding resistance again today. Well, I say again because we did last week as well. 70, 55, 70, 75 is the purple shaded area. Of course, if you're going to go short, that becomes your opportunity to go short into the purple shaded area. And of course, the risk is pretty easy to figure out. We just don't want it to get above that purple shaded area. Your first target would be the orange shaded area. If you look at the very bottom of the chart, again, you can see I am already in 70, 60. 8 pips of profit right now, but again, I'm looking to target the 69.85 level for the New Zealand dollar today.
From Forex Traders Daily, this has been your daily analysis with Ross Mullins. If you would like to get Ross's analysis on all the currency pairs he's watching and all the trades he takes today, join him in his live trade room by clicking on the link below. Please leave any comments you have about today's video in the comments section below.